Hi, I'm Teresaelling. Welcome to The Peaceful Home. I'm a professional organizer, parenting coach, and homeschool mom of 6, and this channel has everything to do with home and family. Today we're going to do a home tour of a 100-year-old farmhouse. Now, often when you hear a farmhouse, you think cluttery, and we usually equate minimalism with being cold and sterile. But today you are going to see how this couple decorated this home in a way that is minimalistic and warm and cozy. Come along with me for the tour.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm going to show you a tour of my house where I live with my husband and our 4-month-old golden doodle Locket, who's going to make a little cameo.
Locket! Hi, boy!
Just going to highlight some of the things that we really love about our home. It is unique. It was built in 1923, so it's almost 100 years old. That comes with its share of joys and trials, which I will share about starting in our living room. One of our favorite pieces of the home are the built-ins. So we have this really large window seat with this massive window that brings in a lot of beautiful natural light. My husband and I actually refinished this down to the wood and restained it. We attempted a similar thing with another built-in that didn't go as well, which I'll show you here in a moment. We have our original hardwood floors. So these are 1923 Douglas fir that we had professionally refinished just recently, and we're really happy with how they turned out. They're not perfect, but we feel like it shows the character and the age of the home really well, which we love. That's why we bought the house. Heading into kind of our main living space, we really love this room being so open. We've incorporated our dining and living space together. We've got nice high ceilings, so it just feels really open and it's great for entertaining guests. We spend most of our time in this space together and with our friends and family. We intentionally incorporated multiple materials in our kind of design of the room, and the intention there was that we could easily incorporate new and old pieces that didn't have to match perfectly. So rather than buying a set of things that match exactly, we've chosen to sort of wait for the perfect item to add slowly, which means we can use secondhand things, items that were gifted from friends, or purchase something new if we really love it. So I'll show you that here in the living room. We've incorporated the use of, you'll see natural wood, solid wood, wool, tweed, leather, and then we have lots of plants as well. So a couple of the items I really love. The couch we bought new, this tweed couch, but the leather couch was purchased secondhand. So again, using different materials, with a similar theme in terms of like the century, like a mid-century look. So they have that in common, but are different enough that we can incorporate lots of different things. So although my husband and I do periodically declutter, do a big overhaul, go through clothing and make sure that we're keeping things that are useful, our value really is to start with only bringing things into the home that we absolutely love. So rather than following fast fashion and bringing in cheap clothes that will last for a short time that you kind of like but don't love, same thing with furniture. If we don't love the item, then we're not going to purchase it. And in that same vein, we will spend a lot of time thinking about something before we buy it. So our coffee table, we didn't purchase a coffee table for months after we were married, and a dining room table because we couldn't find one that we absolutely loved. So we ate off of cardboard boxes for a while, just so that we would make sure that we were really intentional about what we purchased and end up with something that was an item that we love, that we would keep for a long, long time. So that value is, you'll see that throughout the home with items that we really, really do adore. That's how we choose to furnish our house. So again, we love that our dining room and our living room are kind of incorporated into one big space. It makes it feel like a family room. We also really love the built-in here. This was what I mentioned earlier that was a little bit of a hassle. We had wanted to refinish it and bring it down to its natural wood, and it just didn't turn out. So I said scratch that and painted it, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. Being flexible with projects, especially in an older home, is really important because oftentimes they don't turn out how I envision. So learning to roll with the punches and just get creative and try something new has been incredibly important in staying happy and sane in this house. So excluding our bedrooms, we have one closet for the entire house, one small hall closet. Needless to say, no coat rack of any kind. So we found this on Amazon for I think $25. It served us really well to hang purses, hats, and coats in the winter time. It was a great find and a really good investment. Okay, I'm gonna show you my kitchen. The theme apparently in 1923 was to have as little space for storage as possible. So we had a lot to combat when we were making our kitchen work for us. There's not a lot of cabinet space and very little counter space. So one of the things we've done is we don't really store anything on the counters. I'll show you how we utilize a different space for all of our appliances, but that really makes it look much bigger. And then I can, chop all my veggies and do my food prep without having to rearrange everything and move things to make space for me to do that. So that makes a huge difference. That's all. We have a lot of really fun and unique features in this home because it is so old. One of the things is these latches. They're original to the home from 1923. We do not have a spice cabinet in our home due to the shortage of storage space. So we utilize these shelves from IKEA that I painted the same color as the wall. Got some matching containers off of Amazon to give it a clean look. I didn't want to have all my spices there and have it be aesthetically unpleasing. So having everything match was important for me. So same thing with our pots and pans. Again, we don't have the storage to be able to keep these things where most houses would have them in their kitchen in a cabinet below. So we purchased this off of Amazon to make use of that space. So our house does not have a pantry, or didn't have a pantry existing when we purchased it. So my husband and my brother-in-law fashioned these shelves. We decided to use what was called a breakfast nook as an open shelf pantry to store all of our dry goods and also our appliances to make room on our countertops. Although the storage space is lacking in our master bedroom, we only have a small closet. It's really kept us to our minimal intentions with our clothing, which has been great. I love in this room all the windows. Just brings in a ton of light, and even though it's a small space, all of that light makes it appear much larger. So the first couple of weeks that my husband and I lived in this home, it felt like a treasure hunt every day. We were discovering something new and quirky about this house. Case in point, our ironing board, our cutting board, and our push lights. And behind this door, this used to be a laundry chute that goes from the master bedroom and the bathroom down into the basement.
Wow, I just love this home and I am so inspired by it. Rachel is actually my daughter, and my husband and I went up to visit them this summer, and after a couple of days I just said, I need to film your house. Can you do a tour for me? She and Josh agreed, and it was just such a privilege to be able to film their home and be inspired not only by their decor, by their eclectic mix of farmhouse, mid-century modern, contemporary, traditional, as well as so many different fabrics and textures. And it was just an inspiration for me, not only to not be afraid to mix up my decor, but also to declutter, to continue to go through my spaces and get rid of the things that are not serving me well and the things that I don't really love. If you would like to know more about decluttering, I've got a couple of videos that I will post below. And if you're interested in farmhouse decor, take a look at my kitchen renovation. Also, Rachel and Josh were actually on my channel before. I did an interview with them to talk about their debt-free journey. So if you're interested in that, take a look at that video. It's really inspiring. Thanks so much for joining me today on The Peaceful Home.
The first couple of weeks that we lived here, it felt like a treasure hunt. Every day we discovered something new and quirky. Take this.